Hey guys, welcome back to Telltale Books. I'm Emily.
I'm Greg.
And we are here with Jessica of Blackheart Books. It is a lovely indie bookstore in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. Give us a little introduction. How'd you get into this?
Well, horror, thriller, mystery, dark fiction, speculative fiction always has been my favorite, even since I was a kid. I started as a pop-up around town, the farmer's market, coffee shops, local places, and it was very encouraging, very pleasant. It was really cool to just connect with people, talk about books, the same weird, gross stuff that I like to read. You can always find people like that. And then it was, it went really well as a pop-up. So I decided to stop lugging books around town and just have people come to the books.
Yes, that's a wonderful idea. I know. And brick and mortar is such a hard thing to get into. Did you have any, a little fear of going into brick and mortar, or did you feel like your community was already well built?
Oh, yes. And yes.
All of it.
Yes. Of course. Yeah. I connected with a lot of people, but of course, it's a big step to rent someplace, have the builder customize it for you, it was terrifying. So, yeah.
Yeah, understandable. Yep. And there's a really cool history to this particular space in general that you mentioned to us. Would you love to tell our viewers that? Because that, I think, is really cool.
Yes, so this particular building used to be a bookbindery, maybe in the 20s or the 40s, a while ago. A customer came in, and she said that she was very excited. It was almost like a cosmic thing that, it was her aunt and uncle ran the bookbindery, and she came in and she really loved that it was a bookstore. And they had a printing press in here. There's ink stains all over the floor.
I know, I love that. You've got some blue and black ink over here. That's just really lovely touch for a vintage space. Cyan. Oh my gosh. It could have been a different kind of blue. They have Pantone. Maybe.
20s.
No, not in the 20s. But yes. Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So what are you reading right now?
I am reading Witchcraft for Wayward Girls.
Yes.
Just came out the other day.
Yes.
Also reading Devil in the White City.
Oh, I love that.
Club.
We just read that ourselves a couple years ago, actually.
Years ago.
It was fantastic. I loved that one.
So a good true crime book.
Yes, me too. I find that as I'm getting older, I'm really enjoying, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction.
Oh, yeah. I was
really
I tell
enjoying
people,
that.
True horrors are man-made.
Another one I can recommend to you is Sin in the Second City. It's about how brothels in Chicago basically made it economically viable. Very interesting story.
Yes.
Also very gruesome. Lots of crazy stuff going on in that time. So I think you would really enjoy that one. I can recommend. Is there any books that you can recommend to us? If we haven't read it already.
You probably have.
The list just went through your brain at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, anytime anybody asks me for a recommendation, immediate blank slate. I don't know why. And then they walk out, I'm like, wow, I should have said this, this, and this. And
There's actually a lot we haven't read. We both mostly got started into horror when we started Telltale 5 years ago. We hadn't read much.
Yeah, so Stephen King has kind of been our introduction to start.
And then
little
previously
Agatha Christie.
we had read Edgar Allan Poe, Lovecraft, but otherwise, no, we really hadn't read anybody.
Yeah. Stephen King is an excellent gateway drug.
Yeah,
that's that's how everybody dips their toe in. And then sometimes that's enough. You're like, that's good to go. That goes far enough for you. And then other people just fall headfirst into the deep end after that.
Yeah. How's your knees doing?
Not so well at the moment.
Oh no. Yeah.
Old knees, they're not handling the wood floor so well.
Is there a book in this space that is really your favorite one that got it all started, or
No, I could not.
It's picking a favorite child.
Yes, every shelf I look at, I see a book that I loved, that I read, that was so good. I just read Mary by Nat Cassidy.
Yeah.
And I really loved it. A book that I recommend to people that it's so thought-provoking.
I might need you to scoot this way because the camera might have gotten you out of frame.
And Then I Woke Up by Malcolm Devlin. It's very short. It's just over the length of a novella.
Okay.
And it's it's zombies, but it's not zombies. It's a pandemic, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's very thought-provoking. It's very interesting. Yeah, short, so it really hits the ground running and keeps hitting hard, and you don't always know what's happening.
Kind of got that little unreliable narrator thing.
Yes.
Oh, we love a good unreliable narrator.
Every character is an unreliable narrator, which is wild.
Yes.
Like Wuthering Heights.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aren't those
Wuthering
kind of
Heights.
books really great?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite Gothic novels. Yes.
Yeah, I just had an argument video we did about if Wuthering Heights or Jane Eyre was better and why. Because he likes Wuthering Heights a lot.
I like Jane Eyre, but I think Wuthering Heights is a better book.
And I was like, how dare you? I will murder you in your sleep. Let me tell you why you're wrong. So,
my vote is for Jane Eyre. I love Jane Eyre, but I do also love Wuthering Heights. I read it for the first time last year, and it really reminded me of Saltburn because every single person sucks so bad in that story. I call it assholes in love.
Yes, it's and that's how I felt about it. Like I just found myself more frustrated with the characters and how stupid they were being. Yes. Whereas with Jane Eyre, it's like her character made her interesting.
Yeah,
and she wasn't a dick.
There was a lot more nuance in the story. Yes. But in Wuthering Heights, it was like everybody was the worst, and they got what they deserved. And I was actually when I finished it, I was like, ooh, I love that.
Yes. Yeah, I kind of like that too. Like I enjoyed both. I really love Jane Eyre more. And so I was kind of that person too. So we're gonna have to start asking that of everybody when we have them as who do you prefer? Put them really on the spot, and if they've never read them all, we're gonna make them read it to everyone on camera immediately. But just
slide 2 copies.
Yeah, just slide 2 copies.
I know Samantha agrees with me. So.
Oh well,
two and two.
She does like that kind of stuff, though. I mean, it really is for different types of readers, like a gothic romance, but still.
I have them both on the other side of the shelf.
Yes, absolutely. I love your classic selection that you have here, and you have some beautiful copies of classics. There's a gorgeous Dracula over there. I think Greg, you had that copy.
No, I don't have that one.
Or maybe I've just seen it around a lot. You have that other copy too from.
Yeah, mine's from Amaranthine. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're a very limited specialty press over in, I think they're in Poland or something like that.
Oh, wow.
One of the Eastern European countries.
Yeah.
And,
it's also gorgeous.
Their new books right now, because they've been so popular, they start at like $700.
Yeah.
Dracula was only $200, so I got that one.
It was
really
budget,
nice. Real budget.
It's all velvet covered. The illustrations are stunning.
The illustrations are amazing. It's such
slip cover with the embossing and the gorgeous
No matter how many copies of something someone has, especially a classic book, if a new they're like, oh, I gotta have that one. Have that with
collector piece.
Yeah, so pretty. Gotta see that on my shelf.
I'll still keep my shitty paperback. I've done that. Sabriel by Garth Nix I really enjoy. It was one of the big ones that got me into fantasy reading. And Greg got me a gorgeous copy of Sabriel, a European copy that's this hardcover, and it's beautiful. And I still keep my shitty little paperback with the torn
the other one is
has sentimental value.
Yeah,
yes.
And if you want to really flip back or just toss it in your bag, the other one is that's my display copy.
Yes, this one has to sit on the bookshelf in a prominent place.
Yeah, just for aesthetics.
Those collector books because they're made in a way that they're going to last.
Yes, the acid-free
hundreds
paper.
of years. And you can hand them down through the generations.
The heirlooms.
To your kids. And they'll hold up. They're acid-free paper, so they're going to last. You know, and they're usually just made with a whole lot more care.
Yeah, and if your story has stood the test of time from Dracula's 1850 something?
1890s.
Okay, yeah. If your story has stood the test of time, then your book deserves to also stand the test of time, the physical material. So
absolutely.
It's kind of a trend you're seeing now where everything that comes out is being made in this special edition with painted edges, and most of them are really not well made, even though they're dressed
they're your typical mass production.
But they're also books that nobody's going to remember 10 years from now.
Yeah.
A lot of times,
Yeah, you do run into that a lot, but
it's fun.
It is. I think a pretty book deserves to be pretty. And we're both graphic designers, so having that aesthetic on top of things is really
Yeah, I get it when people see it, and they're like, ooh, it catches their eye, and it's a good way to get your book slid off of the shelf and looked at.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so yeah, we're very happy to see more bookstores opening up because we like physical books. They're better than ebooks. I mean, sometimes I like to read an ebook for the convenience, or like she says, if you've got a really beautiful copy and you don't want to bend the spine, just get an ebook and read that.
Yeah, a lot of the time they're less expensive.
But I still prefer that physical book.
Oh, for sure.
Would rather go to a bookstore and get it.
Yes,
also do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Even if I have an audiobook of it, I definitely get a hard copy.
Yeah.
Just because. Also, I like to read along. Like, there used to be I was homeschooled as a kid, and we often had those read-along books to help us learn reading. And so, and also being ADHD, that really helps me retain the information to hear it as well as see it and read it myself.
Yes.
So it adds that extra layer to me to help me really comprehend what I'm looking at. Because otherwise I end up being a speed reader, and sometimes I just kind of like miss stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Nuance can get lost if you
you
read quickly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So before we get, without much ado, tell our viewers everywhere they can find you, besides right here in Manitowoc, Wisconsin.
You can find me on the World Wide Web at blackheartbooks.net. I am on social media, Instagram at black_heart_books. Also on Threads. And then Facebook as well, Blackheart Books.
And you also have a Libro account, which I have added as well. Yes. So you can get audiobooks through Blackheart Books.
And bookshop.org. If you want to support me and you don't live nearby, I'm on bookshop.org.
Wonderful. Yeah, you can buy her books by going there and buy online.
Yes. So we've really enjoyed hanging out with her today. Thanks so much for joining us and letting us put you on camera.
Sure.
Even though it was kind of impromptu. Like, we had planned this, but it was also kind of like, well, we'll see what we have time for. So.
Yeah. Well, I've got, you have to have your elevator pitch ready. When you become a business owner, nobody tells you have to have an elevator pitch for every person.
Yeah, that question of what do you do?
Yes. You're like,
let me tell you everything. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, and we should mention your book clubs.
Oh, yes. She's got phenomenal book clubs. Yes. Tell us what's coming up.
Yes. So the first Thursday of every month, we have I'm going to blank.
It's all good.
I have a fiction book club and a nonfiction book club. One meets the first Thursday, one meets the second Thursday. On the fourth Wednesday, I also have a Stitch and Bitch club. So if you have knitting, crochet, embroidery, cross stitch, just 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Show up with your project and then come sit and chat. Stitch and Bitch.
Yes. Delightful. Yes. So thank you so much again for joining us. And thank you for joining us. Like, subscribe, support Blackheart Books in every possible way you can. We love to. She's been a wonderful resource to us in the community. And we're glad to have her because we love you guys so much. So thanks for joining us. Like and subscribe, and we will see you all next time. Bye.